The weight peak on this, if this didn't have the weight peak, I still think this would look elegant, but because this has the weight peaking out, it just adds to the overall aesthetic. Today's keyboard is the Shelby65. The original Shelby was really, really pretty. I'm glad that Swag Keys has decided that they're gonna make a 65 variant to this. I think the 65 for me is a smidge more exciting than the TKL, although I love TKLs. I think TKLs and 60s and 65s are wonderful layouts. I already kind of have a theme for today's build, so don't hate me. I'm not gonna let you guys pick keycaps today, only because I know what the board looks like. The only thing that I have information-wise is the 3.5mm gaskets go on the bottom and the 1mm go on the top. That is the only info that I have about the whole keyboard. It is a prototype. I don't know when this is going to be released. I don't know pricing. All we're really going to be doing today, just so everyone understands, is we're going to be taking a look at this. We're going to be as critical as possible. They did send this over. I don't think they need this back, so we're probably going to be end up keeping this. Like the other Shelby, though, we're going to be giving a bunch of these things away eventually. So these are for us to keep here, but you guys usually end up getting them. Just to be transparent. This green is sick. Such a good green. Absolutely stunning. There's some plastic we need to take off on this. I'll do that afterwards. That side profile on this guy too. Look at this. Again, it takes basically the Shelby 80 and then shrinks it down to the 65 format here. Dude, the side profile, gorgeous. The gradient of light and just the way that this works here is gorgeous. The weight sticking out a little bit, giving you a little bit of flair on the side profile is very pretty. The way this kind of tapers in and angles in on the side too. This is super, super pretty. The peaked out weight's gorgeous. Here's how the back looks. Again, very reminiscent to the Shelby 80. It's directly the Shelby 80 in this sense. I don't have the Shelby 80 here because we gave it away to you guys. They say Swag Keys on the screws, I believe. So some nice screws to boot with this. I don't remember if the Shelby 80 had these. Absolutely stunning. On the inside, you can see it has some of those ridges, which can help with sound diffusion, as well as this will help lower the board. In terms of front height, let's find out what front height this keyboard has. Again, we don't have feet on right now, but looks like we're looking at about an 18.3, 18.4 millimeters. So pretty nice front height on this as well. And then the daughter board is going to be underneath the weight, it does look like. We'll have to take a look at that. But very, very pretty. You can see this is where the gaskets are going to go, right and over here. Typing angle, I don't know. This sort of looks like a 7 or 6.5. So they sent an FR4 with foam and hot swab, which I don't think I want to use today. I think today is an aluminum day. PCB, I don't know why this feels sort of like a 1.2 mil, but I'm not 100% positive. I guess let's find out. It is a 1.2 mil PCB. I don't know if this will come in a 1.6 variant. I wonder if the hot swap version is any different. Not that it really matters, by the way, guys. The only reason I'm criticizing, or not criticizing, pointing that out is because some people prefer different things. So this doesn't really, it's not a point of criticism. I do personally find, though, with 1.6 mil PCBs, they do sound a smidge fuller. This is also 1.2. But I also have no quarrels with 1.2 mil PCBs. You will need to make sure you use stab shims, which I believe the original Shelby was also 1.2 if I remember correctly. Here is our plate. We have some excellent use of relief cuts. And if you guys want to know why relief cuts would matter, basically, this is actually a really nice cut right over here. Not a lot of people utilize these type of things. It's going to make the spacebar area more independent and not as rigid, even though it's going to be on the PCB. I really like this. There's no, I mean, they could have technically put a mounting point right over here, but with this leaf spring design, it wouldn't have impacted it much at all. Just because, again, it has a relief cut on it. I like plates like this a lot. I think these are the gaskets, I want to say so. These are the feet. Looks like you got two different color feet. And I think that's everything in the box. But in terms of PCP configurations here, we have some LEDs, indicators for the caps lock, which is cool. I don't know if you guys can spot those. And then we have the standard array of options, which is great. No ISO though, so if you're an ISO lover, no ISO for you. But yeah, pretty standard array of options for a solderable PCB. For a 65, I feel like this is This is the norm, I'd say. Like, this is what I normally would expect out of most PCBs. Double spacebar options, step caps are regular, and then split backspace. Some people may prefer having some split options over here for solderable PCB. Usually I kind of look for that too. But again, maybe makes no sense because there's no ISO. But guys, we're using BRG, okay? This is the set I took out for today, okay? This is the set. We're going to be using it. Please. No one hate me. We're going to be using it. I already thought we know. Okay. It only made sense. It only made sense. How many Nixies do you keep in your pocket at a time? 45. I did mil-max the spacebar, so if we end up not liking the spacebar for whatever reason, we can just swap it out. I really like the screws used on this keyboard. Very good quality screws. I like the internals being 1 bit, the same bit as the outside. But here are the internals. If it wants to focus. So that's where we're gonna be putting our gaskets. And the 1 mil gaskets go on top and 3 mil go on the bottom. All right, pretty nicely machined and anode on the inside as well. Very good quality there. Also, the color match was pretty good too for top and bottom, in case you guys were wondering. And here is the inside of this. So this is how the internals look here. And then if we flip it over, this is how the weight looks. It does have, so the green part here is a separate piece of aluminum that gets screwed into on the back. Pretty hefty weight, pretty thick as well, in case you guys are wondering. I really like the way they did the daughter board channel here. I think this is a super, super clean way of doing it. It makes it super simple. There's no room for this to get tangled anywhere. Kudos for them for just doing a super simple way of doing this. Hopefully it sounds okay without a through weight. I have some faith that it'll sound good just because it does have a pretty decent mass underneath, as well as it has, again, I'm not saying these are going to do a crap ton, but it does help with sound diffusion, being these aluminum ridges over here. It should help. Good old pour-on gaskets. These are one of, I mean, there is definitely a sound difference when it comes to silicone versus pour-on. Now, while I've had some amazing boards with silicone, I think most of the time it's just easier to get a nicer balanced sound coming from some of the pour-on strips. They just do a better job at absorbing some of those like nasty frequencies from the plates sometimes, depending on the plate you use. I'm assuming these are for the side, because if I remember these also came in for the side for the Shelby, but I don't exactly remember where these go. So I guess we're gonna have to play some guessing games. Again, maybe a small point of, not so much criticism, but a small learning point here. I'd definitely suggest it's always good to have some written material or some sort of small guide on how to do things. Doesn't really cost too much just to write up a small little guide. Yep, just something just to include in like a box. And I specifically say include in a box and not put online because, you know, I know it's 2025 and I know a lot of people have access to the internet and you had to have access to the internet to buy this, but some people don't want to load up a website still. I'm in the same boat. It's always nice to have physical instructions next to you. So this is done, and I guess, yes, I like the idea of test fitting before. So I know we're not plugging it in. No, I actually do think it goes on the bottom. Okay, probably does go on the bottom. It might be for the PCB and actually not the plate. Because the plate, there's no way this would hit anything. At least that I could see. Yeah, I think this is for the bottom and it's for the PCB. They could be force brake pads as well. Again, we don't know because no one told us. That is I think that's my little gripe here is we don't actually know. Because I don't think this will shift around if you get this in place. But they are pretty thin, so they could also be force brake pads. All right, so these things, thank you for sending us that. I appreciate it, Smoked. Smoked being an OG right now. These actually sit in these little slots over here. Which I wouldn't have expected. I couldn't remember doing that on the original. It's been a little while since we did the original Shelby. Because these little slots, we're going to have to put them in here. Might have been easier to do this first, but it's okay. Interesting. Mine are stick to the sides, but I bought the board secondhand. Oh, did someone yeah, I think someone might have accidentally put these wrong because it makes sense that they're here. I do remember putting these here, actually. See how they have this slot even in the gasket? So, this is the Shelby65. So this is from Swag Keys. They sent this over again. I would keep tabs on their Discord/website if you guys are interested in this project. This is very much a prototype. I didn't get much information past just, hey, tell us what to think here. Let's take a look at the side profile one more time with it fully built. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I think this looks great. It's a beautiful side profile. They did a stunning job here. It is in a bunch of different lighting. The bottom has some fingerprints now, but just deal with it. The bottom looks great in my opinion as well. It's a good looking keyboard. Yeah, I also do like the weight sticking out. The weight peak on this, if this didn't have the weight peak, I still think this would look elegant, but because this has the weight peeking out, I think this it just adds to the overall aesthetic. It has what did I say, the 18.2 or 18.3 front height? Let's just say sub 18, let's just say sub 19 mil, because I think the feet are definitely adding some to that. In terms of balance of bezels, we have thinner side bezels on the side, and then the top bezels and the chin of the keyboard are definitely thicker, which this is very much my aesthetic, so I am very into this. I really think this looks good. I think this looks absolutely fantastic like this. And then we did put in some cherry nixies. They've been lubed and filmed. So I guess let's see what this is gonna sound like. Also, I'll show you guys from the side view as well. How did this look? Damn, this looks really nice on the desk. I think this looks very, very pretty. Let's see what this is gonna sound like now. Aluminum plate, cherry nixies. They're lubed at 205, and then I put some plastic films in them. I don't remember the brand of the plastic films, just some old ones I had lying around. And then we have some GMK BRG on this. So let's see now. The alphas are definitely a slight on the quiet side. I love the spacebar that's coming out of this though, and that might be due to the 1.2 millimeter PCB. By the way, you guys I see Keep Science just mentioned that it could be due to the thinner PCB. But you know what? For a thinner PCB, I'm still pleasantly surprised by the sound profile. I think this sounds really, really solid. Do I think they could make this better with a 1.6? A little bit. You know what too? I think if you were to go with something a bit deeper sounding, like Gat Milky Yellows, you could have an overall better experience with like maybe a deeper sound signature. Cherry switches are a bit more on the aggressive, maybe the deepings would have been better, the long pull variants. But you know what? I'm still very happy with this. I would love for them to offer a 1.6 millimeter PCB. I think they did a lot of things really well on this, being the mounting on the plate itself. The gasketing system works really well. The aesthetics of this is really pretty. I like the way they routed the JST connector. It's a very easy, simple, good feeling build. I mean, overall, I'm still very happy with it. I would just personally want a 1.6 mil PCB. But overall, it has its core functionality there, or not functionality, its core sound profile there, which I can hear. Maybe we just have to switch over PCBs. Down to try one thing right now. Before we end stream or do anything like that, for people who are genuinely interested in this board, because this foam is very, very, very thin. What if we were to just stick this piece, even though it's not supposed to, underneath the PCB assembly? I wonder how that would affect our sound profile. And then let's just do that. So we can put it on the 5th key through there. And then let's have this go back in. Putting the foam underneath now really changes the alphas. It doesn't sound like it has foam. It definitely quieted up the spacebar a bit, which I wonder if we were to go in this and just maybe even just cut some of this foam out and kind of rearrange it to see how it would, you know, be better placed. I'm curious about switching to the PE foam. Maybe if we switch to that, it can absorb some of the brighter sounds. So let's change this one more time to just switching to the PE sheet, because that is actually a pretty popular mod that people do sometimes too. Is it just me or does it sound fuller now? With the PE foam at the bottom. Yeah, I think I still preferred this foam, and I'd probably cut this foam out to only cover the alphas and not do anything else. But again, I think this is maybe just a symbol that a 1.6 mil PCB would be more up my alley, for example. But I think I'm still set on my comment there, where I think this board sounds good, but I think my preferences would lean to a 1.6 mil PCB. I'll mention that to them. I don't know if that's possible. It seems like they had created one for the Shelby 80 after the group buy ran. But I would actually say that I would prefer a 1.6 mil PCB for this. That would like secure a purchase for me, from example. Bye everybody. Love you. See ya. Bye-bye.